Hey, this message is going out to David Kuntz. I want to introduce myself. My name is Brett Figueroa. I'm a resident here in the Centennial area and wanted to just speak some life into a situation I had at your location there, Pindustry, there in Arapahoe. 2 weeks ago, actually, as of today. I'm 58 years old. I raised three kids in Douglas County. My oldest graduated with his master's in math here recently. My middle son is a 23-year-old awesome 6'10 golfer at the Ridge at Castle Pines. And then I have a 19-year-old daughter. And so I've been raising my family here in Colorado for the past 26 years. I'm a motivational speaker. I've been being a motivational speaker. I've been a motivational speaker now, a corporate trainer, et cetera, a four-time author for 33 years now, working alongside motivational speaker Tony Robbins as his number one trainer nationally, moving 25 times in 5 years, just having one hell of a great time. And so like I say, I've been coming to Pindustry for the past several years. I love it. It's pure entertainment. It's pure fun. It's pure bliss. It's just absolutely so much fun. That 56,000 or 57,000 square feet of love is the way I explain it with my friends throughout town. And, 17,000 square feet more of love upstairs, and just fantastic time. And so I've never run into any type of a situation until about 2 weeks ago. And nobody's ever made mention to me about not dancing in any particular area, or, that I'm drunk, or that I'm this or on drug, like, doing bad things to people. I just go there, have a great time, dance my butt off, have lots of friends that come just to watch me dance, bring out their cameras and show their family and stuff. And it's great. It's just great time. And probably I'd say, it was about 2 weeks ago that the GM there, Greg, if I'm remembering the name correctly, I sure hope I got the name right, that he'd come up to me and they were super clear about, not dancing in the aisle. And I totally got that. About, I guess, 2 to 3 weeks prior to that, just out of the blue, this guy comes up to me quite harshly and quite, I mean, like, dude, I'm a local, bro. I come here like every weekend and have one hell of a great time. Got lots of friends here. And the way I felt violated, where he goes, "Oh, no dancing in the aisle, just no dancing. Dance over on the dance." I'm like, dude, got it, bro. Okay, I got it. Like I'm super clear about proximity. I'm super clear about not bumping into people. I'm super clear about keeping my space. I practice 2 hours a day. I may have mentioned I'm up at 3:55 in the morning on my bicycle at 4:35 in the morning, ride 4 miles into the gym, and I dance every single day, 6 days a week. I practice. I come into Pindustry on Fridays and Saturdays for the most part and just have a great time. It's where I get to kind of show off my wares after practicing for 10, 12 hours a week. A lot of work, a lot of effort go into that. I don't take it loosely. It's just not a place I go and just hang out and dance. I go and I really get to perfect my moves, and people bring out their cameras, and my friend Jamie and Luke over there. We have just such a fantastic time. And so about probably 5 weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, this guy comes in again, very harsh, and I knew right away, okay, this dude's after me. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's just the way it is. So I come back this 2 weeks ago, and as I go to the dance floor, the security comes up to me and says, "No dancing in the aisle." And he was super clear and he was super direct. And he says, "If you dance in the aisle, we're going to need to ask you to leave." I thought that was a little bit odd, considering I just got there and they've only probably given me, out of all the hundreds of times I've been there, probably, two reprimands that said no dancing in the aisle. Even though I don't go bumping into people, and even though they part ways to bring out cameras and do all kinds of fun stuff, he was super clear. But I get super sweaty. It's super tight proximity in quarters, especially when there's a top rated band there. And so I'm having to have white towels and, all kinds of stuff to just keep myself so I'm not sweating all over the place, making a mess. And so 2 weeks ago, Greg comes up to me, or the security guy, what's his, Chico, and I think it was Chiko. I didn't want to think he corrected me on the Chico. Super nice, again, very direct. And so I was going to start sass talking after he said no dance. And I was like, "No, Brett, just just be good. Stay in your lane. You don't need to go causing a scene." And so I started dancing on the dance floor. He went and stood over off in the corner area, keeping a very close eye on me. And so I went up to him and I said, "I just want to ask you a question, Chico." I said, Um, I said, where can I dance? I said, I really want to make sure that I stay within, the confines of what your requests are. Where can I dance? So he looks over to the left and looks to the left towards the dartboards, and he said, you see that pole? I said, yeah. He said, like just past that pole, just like go that direction. And then he looked in the other direction at the beginning opening of the bar, and he said, over at that section, that's easier. It's not as busy. I said, okay, great. Or of course upstairs. And so I really listened to him. I didn't want to get kicked out. I didn't want to be that smart ass guy that's saying wrong things. I have too many friends. There's too many eyes on me in that place. And so I went and did my stuff. I danced over on that side over there. I danced over on that side over there. And then I went upstairs and spent quite a bit of time upstairs. I had a friend from Choose Fitness where I go to the gym. Oh my God, like we were having a great time upstairs, over there, over there. And I come back downstairs at around 10 o'clock, and I go through the main area, through the main bar area, and I go because I was sweating. I went to the bar area where there was two guys, the GM and then another guy, and I said to the other guy, I said, "Hey, can I get a white towel? Can I get a towel, please? I'm just really sweating. Can I get a towel?" And he goes, and then the GM turned towards me and he goes, I'm just going to ask you to leave. And I was I was literally in shock, David. I was in total, complete shock. I'm like, what? Like, I know if I'm done wrong. I know, okay, I said the wrong thing. I did the wrong thing. I overstepped boundaries. I did this. I did that. But that's nothing. I was like, dude, I'm not sure what you're asking me right now. I said, I danced over that way. I danced over that way. I went upstairs. I stayed out because the room was so busy. I forget what band it was, but it was a very busy band. It was probably over occupancy, maybe. I don't know, but it was freaking smack packed, just busy. So I spent a lot of time upstairs and off on the other side. So he just blew me out of the water. And he's like, we're going to ask you to leave. And so I went to defend myself. I went to defend my case. And I got eyes on me. I got my friends Jamie and Luke. Their eyes are like people are looking at me going, what's going on with Brett? They're asking him to leave. And he was very, very adamant. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're asking me to leave for. I come here every week. I'm a good citizen. I don't stand around and be drunk. I don't do drugs. I don't like what I'm at a loss. He literally put me at a loss. I was completely dumbfounded. And if it was my younger, earlier years, I probably would have done or said something that would have just taken it to a new level and to escalate the whole thing. So I'm super, super glad I didn't. And he said, that's the final word. That's final. I said, so I just want to be super clear. And I looked at him dead in the eye. I said, I just want to be super clear. I said, so what you're asking me is a guy that comes in every week for the most part, um, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, just has friends. I said, you're actually asking me to leave and to not come back. He said, yes, that is what I'm saying. That is the final word. So I took a deep breath. I went to go grab my jacket that was there on the banister area, and I called an Uber to head myself out of town or head myself out of the location. I was very proud of myself that again I didn't say anything. There was nothing that could escalate or that could take it to a new level. In the past couple of weeks, I was thinking, okay, well maybe they'll come back, with some level of something of going, hey dude, we screwed up, we messed up, you're a good guy. We probably were just super busy, super slammed, and we took it out on you. And I mean, my first few days, I couldn't register it. Like it didn't register. I'm 58. I don't go get kicked out of places where I am. I'm a professional. As I mentioned, working with Tony Robbins, #1 trainer, training 3,000 companies, written 4 books, raised 3 awesome, amazing kids, masters, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was just blown away at the level that he came out after me. And I mean, truth be told, when I first left out of there for the first 2 or 3 days, I was like, forget that. I'm going to file a lawsuit. Like, I was angry. I was literally like angry because going, how do you do that? My daughter's like, Dad, that's discrimination. Like, they just came at you for no reason. And lastly on this, Dave, I think it might be lastly, just is it his whole thing was, I said, why? Just tell me why. He said, because you're in everyone's way. I'm in every. What about the other people in other people's ways? Like, you can't move through that main area. Like, you're having to tightly navigate so you don't bump and trip and do all those things. And so I was just blown away with how somebody could come that's running an establishment as a GM that comes to somebody that's a consistent factor. That when cameras come out, like when me, Luke, and Jamie, like when Luke and I go at it, if you know Luke, I mean, we go at it hard, and everybody parts way. The cameras come out, and we just go to town in our dancing. And so I was just blown away. I just want to take note here just to make sure that I got what I wanted to get out with you. But let's see, ask for security, never come back, in everyone's way. I mean, I was just like, as maybe I mentioned, I felt publicly insulted. I mean, I have friends there. I'm a resident here. I've been here for 26 years. I raised my family here, and I felt publicly humiliated. My friends are looking at me going, the dude's getting kicked out. And all my friends at the gym I talked to, I'm like, dude, I didn't do anything. If I did something, I'm a big man. I could walk away and go, yeah, I screwed up. I messed up. I said this or I did this or they told me not to do it and I did it anyways, or, people just for whatever reason don't like my personality. But I sat down with a couple, 83-year-old mom and Dawn, and they love me. They're like, dude, 80% of the reason why we even go to Pindustry is because of you. I mean, I get people that see me and meet me in concerts in the park, and they come up and go, "Dude, are you getting paid here? You should be paid. Like you are like pure entertainment." And I don't say that to be any egotistical maniac whatsoever. I just struggled with getting this video out because I was thinking, okay, well, I'll give it a couple weeks. I'll probably come back, and that just never happened. And probably this issue didn't even get risen up to to this level here. And I wanted to make sure that, David, we got this video directly to you. My number is 720-672-5783, 720-672-5783. If you have any questions on me, or if you want to do Google search Brett Figueroa International, you can see that I'm a guy that's been around for a while. I've been doing this work for my success work, business coaching work, personal development work for 33 years now. Mentioned trained over 3,000 companies as Tony Robbins, #1 trainer nationally, #1 income earner national. Like I just broke every record. So I'm not out there doing crazy ass stuff. So I really just wanted to bring this attention directly to you. So we hope you get a chance to watch this, and at some point we get a chance to either have some form or some level of dialogue. But again, we love your place. Talk about your establishment 5 days a week when I'm at the gym Monday through Friday. We got all of our normal everyday crew there. And, what are you doing tonight? Oh, well, Pindustry. What's Pindustry? What's Pindustry? Like some people know, of course, it's quite the establishment, but there's still a lot of people that don't know Pindustry. That's the way it is. Anyways, David, have yourself a great, fantastic weekend. And again, I apologize. We got to bring, news like this to guys like yourself, that are out there, doing great things and buying buildings and developing things, and that we can, as the public, that we can have fun. But I definitely needed to bring and address this to you personally. So again, you got my number, 720-672-5783. Thank you, David. And I think we got all of our point across. It only took me 13 minutes. I was attempting to do it in less time, but there was kind of a lot of bandwidth to that conversation without minimizing the conversation. I wanted to give you the full HD version. So I hope we got that done. I'll talk to you. Thanks, David. Bye-bye.